So I have a very interesting and plausible theory. This is the Four Horsemen. So, the first horseman is the white horse, the horse of conqueror, or the rider of conquer, or conquest, who's trying to conquer the world. A lot of people would think it would be, but I think it's just for the fact that they've been attacking and their nuclear facilities, as well as setting EMS beams, which I feel are multiple EMSs at a lower frequency, but more satellites at once doing this, rendering the beam technically invisible. You figure lower the frequency and add more, you can essentially eliminate the visibility of it. But that's neither here nor there. I just think that they've been doing that to the vessel and the vessel. They feel like their redemption is being given the world. They think that anybody that's not of the community is essentially their slave, and it's an honor to be their slave. I'm not saying that that's completely true, but there's I'm not saying that's true at all, actually. But there's some things that point to that's why they believe that. The second horse is the red horse, the creator of war. Who could be the creator of war? Again, a lot of people would think it'd be, but I'm thinking it's the United Snakes of America. Why? Because the United States was formed in 1776. It's been at war during its 240-year calendar existence. Pick any year since 1976 to now, there is a 92% chance that the U.S. has been involved in some war during any of those calendar years. The only time they weren't in war was during the Great Depression from 1935 to 1940. We haven't gone not one decade without a war, or being involved in some kind of war. No U.S. president truly can be considered or qualifies as a peacetime president, but more so considered a wartime president. The third horse is more or less likely who I believe, at least. First, the third horse is the food merchant that brings famine. Who is the biggest food producer in the world? They've been going through a huge flood that's destroyed all of their 2020 crops, and a lot of their cattle is coming down with illnesses, primarily their pork industry, Smithfield, swine flu. Also produces the most wheat, while produces the most barley. They've limited their grain exports to protect its own food due to a standoff that they've been having with a radical group lately. And one of those radical group people actually killed one of the farmers. The fourth horseman is the pale green horse, the horse of death, given a quarter of the earth, accompanied by Hades to kill by means of the beasts of the earth. Who could that be? Well, in my opinion, I think that could be the 7 deadly plagues. What are the 7 deadly plagues? The first one is the Bubonic Plague, which is currently going on. You've had a squirrel test positive in Colorado. You've had a few people in northwest China. One person actually in New Mexico recently. You got smallpox. You got the coronavirus family. You've got bird flu. You got Ebola, leprosy, and polio. The reason why I think that is because coronavirus, which is currently going on, was around during 2012, or SARS at least, was around 2002 and 2003, and then 2012 we had a MERS outbreak. Now we have a COVID-19 outbreak. What's coincidental about that is, if you take 2003, that's 9 years between 2003 and 2012. Take 2012 to 2020, where it really kicked off, that would be 8 years. If you count 2019 when it really started, then that would be 7 years. Even still, 1 or 2 years short of each other of all three situations. That's a little too coincidental for me. Again, this is just my opinion and my theory, but I hope you all have a blessed day. Stay free and stay safe.